Time to get this message out, right? Welcome back. I know it's been a while. I think it hasn't been a week, or maybe it has since I last released the last message. Life has been lifing, has it not? Yes. Good afternoon, good evening, or whenever it may be for you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to bring you this information that Source, your higher self, your guardian angels, your spirit team want you to know for the week, want you to know at this time, whenever you happen to come across it. I'm going to pull a message from the Wild Woman Rising Oracle deck. Man, when I tell you it jumped out, sheesh. Number 10, proud with confidence. Ooh, that sheen. But look at that lion, lioness, proud with confidence. Okay, I'm sorry. Look, the shine, it's gonna do what it's doing. All right. Let me read what it says and we can go from there. And then I may pull one more card depending. I don't know if I was feeling it, so I cleared the energy of that deck as well, just in case, but I'm feeling like I probably will. This message does feel ancestral. Okay. So some of your ancestors coming through. All right. So number 10, let's start there. Proud with confidence. There's a beauty in confidence, and one of the ways to embody it is to allow yourself to be fully seen exactly as you are. Though it may seem counterintuitive, what makes us vulnerable is often what gives us strength and vitality if we allow our full truth to be known. What makes you different, weird, awkward, flawed is what makes you most uniquely beautiful. Own and embody your vulnerability, and then proud through life, knowing nothing can shame you if you already own it. When we claim all of ourselves, all blemishes and blunders, confidence arises from the center rather than from the surface, and Wild Woman rises. All of these end with "and Wild Woman rises." And again, this deck may have been geared toward women in particular, but it really is definitely also speaking about the divine feminine, which we all have within us, no matter how you identify gender-wise. We all have both, excuse me, divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So that intuitive, leading from your heart, trusting yourself, that intuition, that inner compass energy is able to come to the forefront, right? Because you do want to be guided by that and take action from that place, right? Action being the divine masculine. But you want to make sure that you are in alignment, right? And obviously in alignment with who you truly are. That's what this is speaking to. That's what Proud with Confidence is talking about, is owning it. All of you. Every single part of you. And there is definitely power in already, showing up, speaking out with confidence about you, right? Showing up fully yourself, speaking your truth. I just had a conversation with a good friend of mine. We were talking about being authentic and ways in which we kind of betrayed ourselves or let ourselves down or put ourselves in position. And these behaviors are learned over time, right? Our childhoods, things we've experienced, we turn down the volume on parts of ourselves, right? There are parts of us that we don't feel safe showing, allowing other people to see, right? Because it's too soft, it's too weak, it's too emotional, it's too nerdy, it's too weird, right? It's too different, right? And so we adjust ourselves accordingly so that we are more palatable, acceptable in the eyes of fill in the blank. Family members, loved ones, those that care for us, brought us up, church family, for close friends, right? The environment that you grew up in. Some things just weren't cool, right? They just weren't acceptable. Or at least you were led to believe that. And so when we don't feel safe, safety is a foundational thing for us, not just in terms of having a roof over our heads, right, and having income and things like that, but just feeling safe. And so we will do what we need to do in order to have that feeling. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, when other people's thoughts, feelings, opinions, I mean, it could feel threatening to your being, right? Perhaps you were teased or bullied, right? Or made fun of, or spanked, whatever it is, right? I said fill in the blank because this can apply. And the thing is that it's not even just in childhood, right? It's as we continue to live life in different ways. And at all of these different levels, we're told who we should be, right? And when parts of us don't fit in that box, or we're outright told that things about us just don't fit in the box, then we clearly know what to adjust and what to do and what to put away and what to hide, right? But there's, man, the freedom, and the power that comes from owning all of you, all of your ish. One of the things that, as I was doing my training and things with Aaron Lyons for this quantum healing and channeling certification that I did complete. Okay. Being seen was such a big part of it, right? Because words like quantum, talking about healing people, talking about channeling, it's different, right? A lot of people aren't talking about those things. And it's something that if you at one point put away things about yourself, didn't feel safe acknowledging things about yourself, and we're talking about gifts. I just said channeling, meaning being able to communicate, being able to receive, being a receiver, being a vessel, right? For higher intelligence, divine intelligence, God intelligence to come through for the purposes of being able to help humanity, okay? And also healing, right? Being a healer, which that goes back, like these things are nothing new. These are things that our ancestors utilized. They were very intuitive. They were in touch with themselves, with the earth, with the cosmos, right? And they used those gifts and natural abilities to support the community that they were in, the tribe that they were in. There were always shamans and healers, right, around. There was no, right, the medical system that exists today did not back then. So you had the wise men and wise women of the village. Sometimes they served as both, right? Leader, wise, right? Person that you go to and healer. And sometimes you had both, right? They were two separate roles that different people played, right? If you're listening to this, this is probably hitting home for you. There's some bells and whistles going off for you because there's something about you. You already either know that you have some of these gifts within you, and you have been afraid to be seen, to talk about it, to let people know that this is something, that a natural gift that you have. Perhaps you have not allowed yourself, because you are afraid, to tap into it, to develop it, right? These are things that I had to do. I had to give myself permission to, investigate it more and step into spaces that were going to support me in developing those gifts that I knew that were within me. I had all of these signs, all of these weird circumstances, situations, things I experienced that I was like, what is going on? But you don't feel safe talking about it, right? Depending on how you were raised and who's around, there's not a space, or there aren't people around for you to have those types of conversations. So this may not relate to you specifically, but I feel like that didn't come through for no reason, that it didn't come through for me to say this. I understand that I am my audience. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be folks who maybe, it's not completely in alignment in terms of same types of experiences. It could just be things that I'm saying that they just need to hear. But the majority of folks resonate with what I'm saying right now. So I know that I needed to say that it's time for you to be seen. And what I was going to say is that she definitely let us know, made sure that we understood that being seen was sacred. It's a sacred act, allowing yourself to be seen, right? It is an act of love, allowing yourself to be seen fully, right? It requires you to accept yourself and love yourself enough to do that, and not be afraid of what may come of it. My friend and I were talking about, it's crazy that, we felt the need to adjust ourselves, and even at times are still figuring out completely who we are fully, because we spent so much time adjusting ourselves. We're both empaths, by the way. And so we can really feel how other people feel. And that can play out a couple of ways, right? You may also be empathic, right? Where sometimes even you may be confused about if what you're feeling even belongs to you, right? Or that you will be fine or feeling a particular kind of way, and maybe once you start interacting with someone, or maybe in the middle of the conversation, you pick up on their energy, and then you start shifting and adjusting because you're aware of how they feel, right? And so, excuse the background, that's gonna happen. I have children. I don't live alone, so if you hear that, I realized I did not mic up, which I plan to do, and I don't guess I'll pause to do that, but I was supposed to throw on a mic just so that, with the hopes that the background would be less noticeable, but that's okay. Anyway, but yeah, picking up on someone else's feelings in response to what you're saying, or you just can strongly feel how they feel about whatever you're talking about. And if they're uncomfortable, if they're getting upset, if whatever it is, when you can strongly feel those emotions, they don't feel good, right? They don't feel good when they're coming directly from you. They don't feel good when you can pick them up on someone else. So that's another thing that could make you shift and adjust. Of course, wanting to fit in, loved, appreciated, accepted. We all have that. And so we've all are probably familiar with adjusting ourselves, minimizing ourselves, denying ourselves who we fully and truly are. So there's nothing more empowering about just showing up fully. And when you are your full self, and that's what it was saying, is that, you know, there's no receipts for anyone to come with. There's no receipts. There's no, can't nobody come tell you about you. You didn't already said it. You didn't already put it out there. You get what you see. Your words and your actions align. You know what I mean? Like, you are genuinely, authentically you. There's nothing to talk about. And when you do that, I have a tendency to start saying something. My mind jumps. My mind runs, right? It moves very quickly. So while I'm talking, it's already down the street, child. If I ain't said that already, so please bear with me. I tend to do that. I'll be in mid-sentence and then I'll jump to something else, Lord. My apologies if that is off-putting or irritating, because I imagine it probably is, but I'm being my authentic self. This is me. This is how my mind works. There are people who are not going to like it or me. I'm going to be off-putting to some people. My light is going to disturb some folks, is going to irritate some folks. My topic of conversation is going to rub some people wrong. Just me being naturally me, showing up. I am not for everyone. I've been getting that message for a very long time now. And I feel like I'm just now fully embracing it. I've said before, like, I don't really care, blah, 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 blah. But it's taken some work to get here. Right? I've already had a comment where someone came from me from a religious standpoint, right? Talking about, basically I need to get my ish together, right? Because in the Bible, it clearly states who I should be, how I should show up, and I am not doing that. So that's what I was told, right? And, and I get where it's coming from, because I did grow up, in a Christian family and household. And so I understand. So I didn't take it personal. I did have to pause, though. I had to pause before I responded. Not because I was going to be mean or anything. Well, I don't know how it could have come off. So it was less about adjusting. Like, I just thought more about what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. Right? And so I still was myself fully. I felt good about what I said. I just did it from a place of love. That's it. So, doesn't hurt to be kind. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead, because I'm just rambling and babbling, but I'm going to further get a message from the ancestors, like directly, word or two of wisdom, guidance, whatever else they want us to know. This is the African Goddess Rising by Abiola Abrams Oracle deck. Okay, we're gonna use her today. Now look, child, I ain't even let me shuffle and at least move the cards around a little bit, for you just get the acting up, cutting up. Let's get a message. All right, feeling safe, of course. Of course, feeling safe. Look at all of that beauty. Is that lavender, lilacs? What is that back there? All kinds of flowers. So feeling safe, the number 4. Oh, y'all. All of this is for me too. And I realize that, like, these readings are just as much for me as they are for you all, right? I am in alignment with whomever, right, that's going to be attracted to my energy. It's not just for the collective. Like, I'm not a part of it. I absolutely am. And this is confirmation, you guys. I just had a birthday. 4/10 is my birthday. So that is too funny. It's so funny that I'm like saying this and talking to you guys, and I'm not fully letting it in. Like, oh yeah, like it's still a reminder. Like, you need to do this. This is you too. So I hear you. So feeling safe. Tituba. I'm gonna read it. She is the goddess of feeling safe, from Barbados, Guyana, Salem. I'm sorry. This is the I say it from the ancestors. She's from the Temple of Ancestors. You cannot make this ish up, y'all. Great ancestress to Tituba was an enslaved Caribbean woman who was the first person accused in 1692, Salem witch trials, okay? It's just crazy how these messages be coming out, because I just got through talking about being a healer, being a crone, being a shaman, being a witch. Listen, all of those things, right, would be things that you could be persecuted for, right? Anyway, she was the first person accused in the 1692 Salem witch trials. She was most likely kidnapped from the Guyana region in South America and then sold through a Barbados plantation. So her guidance is, it is finally safe to be you. Of course they connect. You have wandered through a dark night. Your trip has been long. There is light ahead. Your liberation is apparent. Now the embodiment of this card says you deserve to feel secure. Feeling safe is knowing that your basic needs are met. Feeling safe is feeling at home in your body. Yeah? I just said that. Feeling safe is trusting your journey. Feeling safe is feeling free around those you love. Feeling safe is trusting that the sun will rise again. If you grew up emotionally, spiritually, or physically unsafe, reset your default expectations to a healthier vibration. I love that. And the goddess declaration is, I am safe. It is safe to be safe. Ooh, I love that. It is safe to be safe. It's time. It is time. This time period that we're in, you guys, when I tell you that you are needed. You are needed. Like, the energy on this planet is shifting, and you want to, let me not say you want to, you are being asked to be a part of that shift. You probably already are anyway, but this is a much more intentional, right? When you talk about allowing yourself to be seen, right? When you talk about like fully stepping out there, being your full self, and you don't have to get in front of a camera, whatever, but maybe you've been putting that off. Maybe you have a podcast or YouTube channel that you are just sitting on. Maybe there's some events that you want to put together. Excuse me. Maybe it even is literary, right? Just allowing parts of you, your artwork, whatever, to be seen. It's still an aspect of you, a part of you. Allowing yourself to be seen through whatever work, right? Digital creator, whatever it is that you do, there's a part of you, an aspect of you that you're holding yourself back from fully stepping into what you're here to do and create, right? But at the root of it, like if nothing else, allowing all of you, like what makes you you, all of those, like I said, those quirks, those things that make you unique and special. Like, why come here and just be a replica of everyone else? Like, we fight so hard to be a part of group think and group do, right? To be a part of whatever mainstream has going on. We want to be accepted and we want to know, to be in the know and be with the latest whatever and up on all of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. In addition to that though, right? Are you being your full self at the same time? Right? You know, our parents, a lot of our parents, and you may be lucky depending on what generation you grew up in where this wasn't the case for you, but if you go back a generation or two, you know, they pretty much, and I was just talking to my nail tech about this, how our parents, grandparents, like it's a known thing that like they basically are raising you to be many versions of them and feel some kind of way when you're not, right? Like this is how it's done, this is what we do. Like, I'm gonna need you to do, right, what I'm telling you to do, right? And I'm gonna need you to not disappoint me. Like, I'm gonna need you, like, this is how it's done, right? And, you know, what I was saying to her is that it's unfortunate they don't even realize how much, not that they don't love you, it's coming from a place of love because it's a form of protection, right? It's a form of making sure that you're good, right? But underneath that, it's very selfish. It's very self-serving because you are their, what did I say? Like proof in the pudding of who they are, right? You are the product of them being a good person, of being successful, of being a good parent. So when you don't turn out right, or successful by whatever, you know, standard they have, then they failed. They look bad. You've shamed them, the family, what have you, right? And it's so sad and it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that your life is not your own, right? That there's not this eagerness to figure out who you are and what makes you uniquely you, and then pouring into that and encouraging that. That's much closer in this day and age where we're at. There's way more people parenting in that way. But yeah, you who are watching right now may be the product of having parents and being a part of that wave that it was not safe for you to be you, right? But it is safe now, right? That feeling of safety and security from within here. That's something that you need. You need to have. It is It's so important. It's so important. That safety, like I said, that feeling of safety is foundational. So many things, you know, that's that root chakra, the base foundational chakra. And when it's off, when it's not rotating and vibrating and pulsating and doing the things, and right, like all of the other chakras, I mean, they all affect each other. They all affect each other. And so when we don't have that root chakra, that safety and security, we act all kind of ways. We act up. We act up out here. And we do crazy things to obtain the feeling of safety. And we 9 times out of 10 are looking for it outside of ourselves in unhealthy ways. And putting that responsibility a lot of times on someone outside of us, a spouse, right? A child, it could be an adult child. Like, we'll put it on other people to make us feel safe in ways, right? And that's not fair. So anyway, way longer than I thought, but I think it's a beautiful message, such a beautiful reminder. Please, 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 by all means, be yourself fully and completely. And I'm talking to myself, darling, to be my quirky, weird, strange, unique, beautiful self. It is safe to be safe. I love that. Yeah. You are loved and adored. And again, I feel like these same things keep coming up. They were in other readings about just you being you, right? And that you're depriving the world when you don't, when you're just giving them more of the same, child. Like, what is the point? What is the point in that? They already have your mother. The world has your mother. The world has your father. Right? The world already has these other people. Like, there's already that version. Why give them another one of the same thing, the same old thing, when you can give them all of that sparkle and bedazzle and, right, that shine that is uniquely yours. Right? You are a gift. I said that before. I'm going to say it again. Allow yourself to be the gift that you are, to yourself, for yourself, those that are immediately around you, and humanity as a whole. I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next reading. Peace.